Welcome to the Bio Girl Health Show with Carol Newman. Do you want the energy and vitality you need to fully enjoy your life and all of its possibilities? Carol Newman can help teach you how to nourish your body with healthy organic living, keeping you beautiful inside and out. And now, here's your host.
Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Carol Newman. And today on the Bio Girl Health Show, we'll be talking with Carol about skincare and how you can get a healthy glow by paying careful attention to what you absorb into your skin. Now, before Carol joins us, just a reminder that if you have questions or comments for Carol during the show or anytime, you can send your questions on Twitter using our hashtag BioGirlHealth. Now, many of us unknowingly are creating havoc in our skin through our shampoos and our makeups. We don't really usually think about what's in these products in terms of the chemicals and the consequences that they can have on our skin. Carol, I look forward to hearing what you have to share with us on that matter.
Thanks, Kimberly, but you're so right about that. Oftentimes it's just a matter of not being informed about what effects these ingredients have on our skin. And I don't know if you're aware, but the skin is the largest external organ of the body. And matter of fact, science tells us that we absorb up to 60% of what we apply on it, whether it's natural or chemical. For example, I happened to do some research and on the internet, and the University of Pittsburgh School of Public Health studied the rate at which contaminants in public drinking water were absorbed in the skin. And surprisingly, the result of that study found 64% of the total contaminant dosage was absorbed by the skin.
Wow.
So, that was incredible because I've never read a study like that. I have heard about the absorption rate, but I didn't know how true it was until I actually looked into it. So, but incidentally, the amount absorbed can vary depending on the area of the body, for example, the underarms, face, and broad body surface, or circumstances like after taking a hot shower, which will open up the pores. So needless to say, pardon?
I was just going to say, just to be clear, so what you're telling me is 60% or 64% of what we put on our skin is absorbed into the body. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, that's what the research that the University of Pittsburgh School of Public Health had done, and it was based on, drinking water. But I'm sure it varies dependent on the size of the molecule of the chemical and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So, needless to say, many of the skincare products on the market contain potentially harmful ingredients, which quite possibly are absorbed through the skin, preventing the skin from properly regenerating, and they can cause minor irritation, change the DNA, cause infertility, or a host of skin diseases. So there's a plethora of different things that can happen.
So it's really important then what we put onto our skin. Can you share with us some of the chemicals or harmful additives that are in our cosmetics and our moisturizers that we should be looking for?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I came up with a list of, let's see here, a list of 13. I wanted to keep it short, but I also wanted to give enough information. So the first one was sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium tridescate, which are surfactants.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of sodium lauryl sulfate. What is that? I've also heard it referred to as, is it SLS?
Yeah. It is, and it's a fancy name for soap or detergent.
So why is it in our products, and what does it do?
Well, it does cleanse the skin of impurities and dirt.
Oh, okay, well, that's what we want, right?
It does appear so, doesn't it? But while it does cleanse the skin, it also strips your skin of its natural moisture. So this, in turn, leads to moisture loss, and believe it or not, the destruction of skin cells which were once perfectly healthy. So this all-too-common ingredient is also lurking in our shampoos, in our toothpaste, and a variety of other products. And so that was number one. I'm sorry.
Sodium lauryl sulfate.
That's correct. Like you said, SLS.
Okay.
And number two is PEG 30, dipolydihydroxystearate, and PEG 120 methylglucose dioleate.
Well, I've always heard that if you can't pronounce it, maybe you shouldn't put it on your skin or consume it. So that would definitely fall into that category.
Definitely. I agree with you, Kimberly. This particular... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what is that?
These particular chemicals are synthetic polymers, and they dissolve grease, but are used in our popular skincare products. And considering the fact that these chemicals are used in spray-on oven cleaners and are known to be caustic, it surprises me that they're used in skincare products.
So putting moisturizer on my face that I've also used to clean my oven, that doesn't sound so good.
Hearing it from you, it does not sound good at all. Boy. I agree with you there. And these compounds are derived from petroleum, which harm the skin's natural oil balance. And I've known that it's a delicate balance, your lipid profile. So in turn, this can accelerate the appearance of looking older.
Ew, that's not what we want.
No, definitely not. I want to look as young as I can for a long time. I know we will. I guess what I want to say is I would like to age gracefully.
There you go.
Yes. And number 3, another petroleum-based ingredient is mineral oil.
We've been hearing about mineral oil for years. As a matter of fact, people use it for all kinds of things, and I don't think most people realize that it's not good for you.
No, as a matter of fact, I remember, I haven't bought a bottle in a long time, but I remember it being in baby oil. And the bad thing about the mineral oil is, unfortunately, it forms a coating on the skin, and it clogs the pores. And consistent use can reduce the skin's natural oils, which can, result in chapped and dry skin. And number 4, cleansers and moisturizers typically need an emulsifier to combine the water and the oil because, as we know, oil and water doesn't mix. Yes, and these chemicals, the purpose for these, for example, I'll name a couple of them. Diphenolamine, also known as DEA, and triethanolamine, known as TEA. They also dry out the skin and the hair.
So they're emulsifiers that do good things in the product, but not necessarily good things for our hair and our skin.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Number 5, it is very interesting. To extend shelf life, parabens are used, such as propylparaben and methylparaben. They're also added to a lot of our cosmetics and moisturizers. But unfortunately, these chemicals are estrogen mimickers, also known as fake estrogens, which can disrupt the hormonal balance. And of course, excess estrogen can cause cancer. And I don't know about you, but I definitely do not want to get cancer.
I would like to avoid that as much as possible. And I know a lot of people are, I happen to know a lot of people who they consider allergic to parabens.
Yes, I've heard of it too.
Yeah, not a good thing.
No. Number 6 was diazolindolyl urea, and it's a preservative. It's added to prevent bacterial growth, which we definitely do not want bacteria in our products, but people cause contact dermatitis and release small amounts of formaldehyde.
So the chemical releases formaldehyde in the product?
Yes.
Isn't formaldehyde what we use to embalm people?
Yes, it is. It is.
Well, that would preserve our good looks, wouldn't it?
It concerns me. It really does. It concerns me because I don't know about you, but I'd rather not have that in my skincare products. And I've also read that the EPA classifies it as a possible carcinogen.
Yeah. Not good. Again, another cancer-causing ingredient, another cancer-causing ingredient.
Yeah.
What's next on your list?
Next is animal testing and products, number 7. This, in fact, is not even required by the FDA or the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, there are alternatives are available. Animal testing really isn't even necessary, so I don't know why they do it.
So how do we know if a product is tested on animals?
One thing you can do is look on the label for cruelty-free or no animal testing.
Mm-hmm. And so that's not really something that harms our skin, but it's just not a nice thing to do.
Well, that's one thing about the animal testing, but also the products from animals was another thing I was going to discuss.
Oh, okay.
So we need to be careful using products with animal ingredients. Glycerin is used quite a bit, and it's manufactured synthetically and naturally. Natural glycerin is from animal fat, and we don't even know if the animal was given hormones or what it was fed. And so incidentally, I mean, for myself, I don't like to eat animal products that have been used. I try to eat as much organically as much as I can, so I definitely wouldn't want it in my skincare products either.
I see. And because then you're ingesting the hormones that are stored in that animal fat. Is that
could possibly be absorbed in your skin.
Mm.
But also, incidentally, animal products such as collagen and cholesterol, they contain fats that are too large to pass through the skin anyway, and they just sit on the top of the skin. So by sitting on top of the skin, they prevent your skin from breathing and regenerating properly.
Is that why, like, some things are, like, greasy or oily on your skin and don't really penetrate?
Yeah, I have a sensitivity to lanolin when I used it in the past. And for me, it was rather greasy. So I don't know if it depends on your skin. Some people, maybe if they have dry skin, it may not feel as greasy.
Okay. And so you've got a few more things to share with us. What's next?
Yeah. Number 8, artificial colorants. FD and C, blue number 1, green 3, red 33, yellow 5 and 6 have been shown to be carcinogenic when applied to the skin. I'm sure you've seen those colorants on different products.
Absolutely, and if I understand things correctly, that's only just to make the product appetizing to us. So we're using a cancer-causing artificial color that really isn't even necessary to the product?
Yes, that is correct. And if you're wondering why these ingredients are used, it's very simple. They are very cheap, and big companies are after one thing, profit. Number 9 is SPF, or sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Sunscreen is on your list of cautionary things for skincare? We all need that so we don't get skin cancer, right?
You would think so, but that's a catch-22. Common ingredients like oxybenzone, derived from benzophenone, is known to harm the DNA, and it also can penetrate photosensitive skin. And zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are alternatives, so you can find something else in place of that. And you also want to avoid using nanoparticles of the zinc oxide and the titanium dioxide because they can be harmful in the nanoparticles.
How would you know if a product had the nanoparticles? Do they list that?
They actually do. I actually, years ago, bought one with the nanoparticles. You can get the microparticles. What's nice about the micro encapsulation is it won't leave, it mildly will leave a sheen of oxide, the zinc on your skin, the titanium dioxide, but not like the true titanium dioxide and zinc oxide that they use on their noses, the lifeguards use on their noses and so forth.
Right.
That's one that's really thick, and of course you don't want that on your skin all day. Wouldn't look very nice.
A new fashion statement.
That would be it, a new fashion statement. I like that. Number 10 is Saccharomyces zinc ferment and Saccharomyces magnesium ferment.